Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, January 18th. It is 6:22 right now. Market's going to open in about 8 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly. So just a few things here to update. And we should be good to go. A lot of news this morning, so be very careful pre-market. Does not look like we're going to have a breakout 2.0 today. I'll go over the analysis shortly. Just a couple more things here to update. And I think we should be good to go. All right, so let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, looks like people are making their way in right now. There we go. All right, so I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. All right, cool. Let's see who's here so far. All right, so morning, Keonia. Morning, Peter. Morning, Cern. Morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, January 18th. It is 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. So I'm just going to finish setting out this link and then we should be good to go. Morning, Rashida. Morning, Kenny. Morning, everybody. This morning we had high impact news, guys. It was PPI, basically inflation news. So you want to be careful with entering any trades. So due to the news this morning, there's not going to be a breakout 2.0 that we can safely take. It doesn't even line up. So I'll show you the analysis for the breakout 2.0 right now, but there's no entry that lines up. So even if there wasn't news today, there still isn't criteria that's been met. So we will go over that shortly, but I'll just give it a few more moments for people to continue making their way into this room. All right, everything looks good to go. All right, guys. So looks like majority of you guys are here already. So I think we should be good to go for the most part. Hey, Gary, morning. All right, so looking over here at US30, I'll put up the requirements for the breakout 2.0. I'll explain, why we won't have an entry here. So first, you want to confirm the overall trend on the 10-minute, 30-minute, and 1-hour time frame. As you can see right here on the 10-minute, price is obviously bullish because price is above the pivots. Trend meters are green, pivots are angling up. Here on the 30-minute, price is actually bearish opposite because price is below the pivots. Trend meter was red and it was angling down. It's starting to swing to the upside, but it's not enough to confirm a reversal in trend. Over here on the 1 hour, it's also bearish. Price is still below the pivots. Trend meter is red and the pivots are angling down. So with that said, we can't confirm step one. So there's not going to be a breakout 2.0 for the day. So with that said, there's nothing for us to look at here on these higher time frames. Going to the lower time frames here, as you guys can see, price is currently bullish on the 10-minute, bullish on the 5-minute, and somewhat bullish here on the 1 minute. So it's looking pretty bullish here on the shorter time frame. So if that's the case, we might be looking for buys here. However, we still need to see that confirmation of buy signal here on the 5-minute And we also need to confirm the buy signal here on the 1 to confirm that it's actually going to, continue to the upside. So we'll probably be looking for buys here. This is just from the onset of market open. But when the market actually does open, we'll see where price actually pushes to. So the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to maximize the 1 minute time frame. And I'm going to draw up a news price from this morning. So we had news over here at 5:30, high impact news, core PPI, core retail sales, PPI, and retail sales, all negative news at 5:30. And then we had more news over here at 6:15, also negative news. So 5:30 and 6:15 is where we have news. I'm going to go ahead and mark that up. Start off with the 5:30 news this morning, which was right here. And then we also had some other news at 6:15, I believe. 6:15, which would be right over there. So we have two news events right there. And then we have another news event coming up at 6:30. We have, it's not US news, so we're not going to mark that up, but we have US news at 7 o'clock, business inventories and NAHB housing market index. So we got one more news event coming up later today, and then that's going to be about it. So there we go with that. Market is opening up in about 2 minutes, guys. So no breakout for today because there's no overall trend. So we'll just have to wait for confirmation on the shorter time frame so that we can look for possible entries here. I'll put up the requirements for each strategy again. Hey, Maria, good morning. Strategies that we're applying are the momentum scalp failure, momentum scalp variation, and the momentum scalp. Let me turn my alerts back on. So basically what we're looking for here is we're looking for a confirmation of momentum. We already have, or not anymore, actually. It's now currently neutral in the 1 minute. But the 10 minute here is still bullish. Price is above the pivots, trend meters green, pivots are angling up. And then the 5 minute over here, same thing. We still have a bullish confirmation. So we just have to wait for the 1 minute to confirm as well. And we need a buy signal here on the 5 minute in order to confirm our overall bias for trend and momentum. So we'll leave it at that and we'll see what's going on from here. Hey, David, how's it going? Morning. Hey, Aaron, how's it going? Morning. Yeah, no, definitely. Glad to see you here. So, all right, guys, we'll see where this market takes us on open. Market is opening in about 10 seconds. So market is opening in about 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. There's no breakout for us, so there's no reason for us to really hop into anything on open. We're just going to see where the market takes us right here. If price ends up confirming the bullish confirmation or bearish confirmation, that's where we'll determine what our bias will be for today. We don't have a bias yet, so there's no entry for us to take until we have that confirmation. So going back to the 1 minute over here, as you guys can see, the main strategies that we apply are these 3 strategies here. They come up in order. So the first strategy that will come up first would be the momentum scalp failure. But in order to find this entry here, we need to confirm the overall trend. That overall trend has not been confirmed yet, so there's nothing for us to take at the moment. The 10 minute here is still bullish with regard to this trend. 5 minutes still bullish as well. We just need the 1 minute over here to also confirm that. So once that confirms, we can start looking for possible entries for a buy with this momentum scalp failure. But until we get that confirmation, we just got to wait, sit tight, and wait for the confirmation to reveal itself. All right, so if you guys are new here, basically these pink lines across the horizontal side are going to be news price. So this is news price from earlier this morning. This is news price from earlier this morning as well. And this blue line over here is going to be opening price. So as you guys can see right here on the 1 minute, price is starting to push to the upside. This is going to confirm the trend, right? So right here on the 10 minute, we already have a bullish trend. Here on the 5 minute, we also have a bullish trend. Here on the 1 minute, this is going to confirm the bullish trend here as well. So if this continues to push up higher, this is going to confirm that we have a bullish trend and we can possibly start looking for a momentum scalp failure entry, but we don't have that yet. So in order for us to get that, we need to get a buy signal here on the 1 minute, because what we're looking for is a continuation pattern. So basically what we want here is you want price to push to the upside. We're going to look for retracement, failure, and continuation. Once we get that, then we can take that for a buy. And that'll be our entry for the momentum scalp failure right here. So it looks like volatility is very low, guys. So we might have to go for the 10-30 split today. Not the normal 25-50. I mean, we'll see when the price moves. Volatility is actually not that high right now. We just had this big spike due to news price earlier, PPI, retail sales, but it wasn't very much. It pushed up about 1,300 pips. So not a huge push to the upside or push to the downside. It's just a back and forth movement right here. And then now price is still moving sideways as we follow it. So no confirmation yet, but we need to wait for this to play out. So let's see. Will is asking, do we need a buy signal on it? 2 on the 5. So we don't need a buy signal for the momentum scalp failure, Will. Everything else, we need momentum. So we need a momentum confirmation on the momentum scalp variation and momentum scalp, but we don't need it for the momentum scalp failure. So that's typically why I usually don't take the momentum scalp failure first, because this is like basically a confluence. Whenever I'm looking for an entry, I'll wait for this to play out. And then once this plays out, I'll take the next entry, which would be the momentum scalp variation, which requires both trend and momentum. So the buy signal is not required for the momentum scalp failure, but it is required for the momentum scalp variation. So this is like a good startup into like the trifectas of strategies that line up after each other. This one's probably the most risky because it's the first one, right? So usually I don't hop into the momentum scalp failure. A lot of the times it happens too quickly anyways. So it'll come up super quick, we'll miss it, and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to take the next one, which is a momentum scalp variation. Usually by this time, it's going to confirm. So this is like basically the first confirmation. And then once you have that, if you get these two right here, these are like almost for sure going to hit. So that's why you'll see sometimes I'll miss this because it happens just way too quickly. Even though we're looking for it, it still happens, right? We'll be waiting for it. And then all of a sudden we take our eyes off it for like 1 second, turn around, and it's an entry. So no momentum for that, but we will need the momentum for the next ones here. Still don't have it on the 5. I'll just go ahead and leave them all up right now because we don't have anything to look at anyways. Until there's a better confirmation across the board, there's just nothing for us to take at the moment. So we'll just leave all of them open. As you guys can see, there's not much volatility. It's kind of surprising, actually. I was expecting there to be a lot more volatility, especially after the inflation news this morning, PPI and retail sales. I mean, the market's pretty flat, hasn't really moved too much. The higher time frames over here as well, nothing too much going on, but it's still bearish. So here on the higher time frames, the 1 hour, 30 minute, and 10 minute, still bearish. So I'm assuming price may be dropping further, right? This bullish confirmation is probably not going to hold, and it's probably going to correct back down to the higher time frames because the 1 hour here is still very bearish. You can see here that price is still below the pivots. Trend meters red, pivots are angling down. So if that's the case, then these shorter time frames will probably follow. I mean, who knows, right? We don't want to assume. We want to wait for the market to actually give us that confirmation. If that becomes the case, then we need to wait for a sell signal here on the 10 for the variation and the regular momentum scalp. However, for here, if this continues to drop down, then we could possibly have a momentum scalp failure first. So it's just going to be a matter of, patience. It's just patience and discipline right now, guys, because there's no entries for us to take. There's no bias. So I don't recommend chasing anything right now until you have like some sort of catalyst really pointing towards your entry. So, whether you're applying your strategies or my strategies, personally, I just don't see a direction right now on the shorter time frames. You can see here price is just in between the pivots, same with the 5 minute in between the pivots. So it's not really going directional at all. It's just going sideways. Same with the 1 hour here. It was attempting to reverse, but now it's coming back down and it is still going sideways. Let's see, question from Maria. Maria said, Sean, we need first a buy momentum, then a sell momentum. Which one are you referring to, Maria? Or the 1 minute? Well, yeah, for the 1 minute here, if we get a buy signal, then it's going to provide an entry for a momentum scalp failure, but we don't need to sell momentum yet because there's no entry based off the sell momentum. The entry is based off the buy, because if price is coming down, we're looking for the opposite now. So instead of looking for the buy here, we're looking for it to push down, retrace up for the buy signal, and continuation. When it continues down like this is where we will be making our entry. Right? So we don't need a sell signal for the momentum scalp failure. We need a buy signal, but not a sell signal. We just need a buy signal for retracement. And then as it comes back down, that's where we make our entry for the short position. So that's how we make the short position for the momentum scalp failure. For the variation, we don't need a sell signal either. We just need price to close below the pivots. We would need a sell signal for the momentum scalp though. So yeah, I mean, eventually, if you're looking for all three, yeah, you'll start off with just a buy signal here for the momentum scalp failure, price drop below for confirmation below pivots. This would be this entry. And then the sell signal would be for this one down here. So 3 different strategies, but not all the same requirements. All right, so we have the sell signal right here pending on the 10-minute. If this closes here, this is going to confirm a shift in momentum. So we already have the sell signal here on the 5, so we don't really need that. We need the sell signal here to close on the 10, and we need price to stay below the pivots. If that's the case, then we can start looking for sells, but there's still no confirmation here. I mean, the trend here is still, in my opinion, I think it's still neutral, because you can see the trend meter down here is still green on both. It's still green for the 5, still green for the 10. It's starting to shift, like it's going from green to red, but you know, I'll probably let the movement confirm before I actually look for any entries here, because there just isn't any confirmation at the moment. No need to force anything. Today's it's a high impact news day. We have other news here at 11. We have Fed member Harker speaking. And just keep in mind that this is Fed week. So we have the Fed speaking basically every day this week. A lot of inflation news, unemployment claims tomorrow, and then some more Fed speaks, you know, pretty much throughout the week. So it's just going to be a matter of patience, guys. Just got to wait for this to confirm. Once you have a confirmation of a sell, we can start looking for entries. But at the moment, I mean, this can easily shift either way. Here's the higher time frames. On the higher time frames, it still looks very bearish. So we'll see. I mean, this 10-minute here is going to be the confirmation of whether price, you know, drops below. But the shorter time frames will be the initial direction. You can see here on the 10, that sell signal disappeared, and now it's just a big candle with huge wicks on both sides. So not exactly the best time to look for any entries yet. You can see here on the 1 minute, price starting to push back to the upside, pending buy signal on the 5, pending buy signal on the 1, but no entry on either side yet. Yeah, Maddie said the 10-minute chart looks nasty. Yeah, I agree. There's like, I mean, it looks like price is trying to shift to the upside, but I mean, if you compare the 10-minute here to the 1 hour, you can see that the 10-minute is just making noise. It's just going back and forth. There's no direction. Price isn't really pushing up or pushing down. It's just, it pushes up, comes back down, pushes back up, and then it stays right down the middle. The 1 hour here is probably a better confluence here, or confirmation, because you can see price is just going sideways. Like it's going sideways on the 10 too, but it looks like it's actually moving up. But realistically, if you look here on the 1 hour, prices is just going sideways. Like we should just measure the bodies. Price is wicking up and down, but if you just measure the bodies there, you can see that there's just a lot of noise going back and forth. So we'll see. Not going to force anything here, of course. Only looking for quality entries. Let me scroll up real quick. Nice. Kenny said I got 10 extra days added to my FTMO account. No rush. Yeah, just take it day by day, Kenny. And then if you have to do another restart, that's fine too. Thanks, Peter. So Peter said Ukraine war. updates. Helicopter crashes, kills top Ukrainian officials. Zelensky launches investigation into terrible tragedy. Thanks, Peter, for the link. Let me pull up CNBC again and see if there's anything else here for us to look at. I don't think there's much. The stocks open higher after producer prices hint at peaking inflation. Yeah, there's not really too much here. I mean, looking at all the indices right now currently, or futures, the Dow is currently up 85 points, S&P is up 14 points, Nasdaq's up 69 points, Russell 2000 is down 2 points, and the VIX is down 1.14%. A lot of layoffs going on, guys. Microsoft, Amazon, FedEx, etc. So we are, I mean, whether you like it or not, we're going to be going into a recession. Whether it be a crazy recession or not, it's still a recession. So I think that's why the market's kind of slow right now. They're waiting for more news to be released. Tomorrow we have unemployment claims. And we have more Fed talk. So I think price may be a little iffy today. It'll probably just be a little slow, and we'll pick up maybe Thursday and Friday because we have a lot more news coming up still later this week. So it seems like a lot of people are kind of on the fence with regard to, you know, where to push price. You can see price is now pushing up, which is a good thing, but we need to still confirm this buy signal right here on the 5 minutes. We have this pending buy signal right here, indicating a momentum swing to the upside. This is a good thing though. So if price continues to push up like this, then we'll probably start looking for some buys here. Again, as I mentioned, you can see here on the 1 hour, it's starting to push to the upside. So we're starting to get that shift to a bullish direction. All the futures are pretty much bullish, so it's expected, right? The Dow is up, S&P is up, Nasdaq's up. So we can expect it to possibly push up further, but we need to wait for that confirmation. You can see right here on the 1 minute, this is like where the real movement's happening. You can see there's not really much going on. Price is pushing down, fake out, pushes up, fakes out, pushes back below, and it just keeps going down the middle right here. So not exactly the best day to trade US30. So you can see right here that there's not really much direction on the 1 minute, right? You can actually see the movement here. On the 10 minute, you just see a bunch of wicks, but on the 1 minute, you can see the actual movement. Price will fake out to the upside, push below, fake out, push back up, push back below, push back up, and then it just drops right back down to the middle. So it just keeps coming right back down to this area right here, which is where price just ends up stabilizing. Again, right here, price comes right back down, no direction. Volume is very high though, as you can see from the bottom here. Volume is still very high, it's above average. It's above average, but it's not holding. So, I mean, it's just a matter of time until this will actually confirm. Here we go, as price pushes back up. So currently right now, I'm looking for a bullish confirmation. If we get that, great, we'll look for some buys. If not, then we're just going to keep we're going to have to keep waiting for price to actually push in one direction. Hey, Active, how's it going? Morning. Here, let's see. Nice. Maddie said there's a 10-minute snipe running, SR hit. Christian said 5 minute looks like a witch hunt for stop losses. Yeah, exactly. You see the wicks over here? The wicks on the 5 are crazy. So, I mean, you could enter in either direction, but odds of you getting stopped out are very likely unless you have a really wide stop loss. Because this right here is ranging about 1,112 pips. 120 pips actually. So, you know, if you were to enter a buy here, make sure that your stop loss is wide enough, or if you're entering a sell, your stop loss is wide enough to actually withstand this move, because there's just huge wicks on both sides. It's just wiping people out. So it's best to just sit out of the market, wait for some sort of direction, and then enter. Right now, there's no direction at all. Even the 10 minute over here, you can see the 10 minute huge wicks on both sides. Like this whole range right here, price has pretty much just been pushing back and forth from this low to this high, about 1,300 pips back and forth for the past, let's see how long. Price has been wicking right here since news at 5:30. So for about an hour and a half, price has just been wicking back and forth over 1,000 pips. Hopefully news at 7 will push price one direction or the other. I mean, if not, it's just going to be a matter of patience. Eventually price is eventually going to move in a direction. You just got to wait for it. Nice. Good to hear you active. Yeah, I haven't seen you here in a while. So good to see you guys here. It's good to see a lot of you guys back in the group. I know a lot of you guys took a break after COVID, or you guys started to like trade with different groups, but it's good to see a lot of you guys making your way back to our live sessions. I think over the past couple of months, a lot of you guys have just been returning. So it's been cool. I mean, we've been pretty consistent. If you guys haven't been here for a while, you guys have seen that now we're just focusing on 3 strategies. These here, I still have all my strategies. So all the strategies still work perfectly fine. You guys can see the list over here. I have like well over 20 strategies that you guys can apply. So if you guys have been part of the group for, over the years, we've been trading live for about like almost 5 years now, every day. So every day, every time the market changes, I create something, or I don't really create anything new. It's basically just a variation to something that we're already applying. But now my main focus are just these 3 strategies. So there's no confusion, because anytime someone new joins and they don't know what we're doing, they're completely confused. But now that we have just these 3 strategies here that we follow every single day, it helps with everyone being on the same page. But if you guys know my other strategies, you guys are fine to apply them. Like Maddie over here, he applied the snipe entry. Yeah, he hit his TP. He hit an SR entry as well with TP. So it's just up to preference, guys. Here's Maddie's profits for this morning. He's currently at 307 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. Yeah, so it's all up to preference, guys. If you guys want to apply any of the older strategies, you guys can apply them. But during these live sessions, I'm only going to be applying these 3 for official entries. I might take some speculative moves, but for the most part, it's just going to be these 3. And these come in order. So if you miss this entry here, you can take this one. If you miss this one, you can take this one. They usually come right after each other. All right, so there's nothing here yet, guys. I mean, price is still going back and forth. I think our main focus here would probably be the 1 minute, because once the 1 minute pushes above and continues pushing up higher, then we can probably start looking for buys, and then vice versa. If price pushes below and continues to push lower and lower, then we can probably start looking for some sells. But at the moment, there's just nothing for us to take. Price just keeps going back and forth. And it's literally just bouncing back and forth over and over again. Volume here is starting to die down a little bit. We'll see if it picks back up. All right, we got news coming up in about 10 minutes, guys. Hopefully that'll push price away or in a direction. Let me check these Forex pairs here. I was looking at this one yesterday, Maddie. I think the stop loss was too far, though. Yeah, it was way past. It's got to be capped at 50. So the odd USD, that already hit. Euro USD. Yeah, this wouldn't have met criteria. GU. A lot of these trades came really late. Like this one came at 1 o'clock. I was already asleep, so I couldn't take that trade. It looks like the Forex market is starting to have its direction. For the past couple of weeks, it's just been sideways. But it looks like it is now finally picking back up. This USD CAD position is technically still running. But we do have news coming up shortly. USD CHF position ran to full TP. I think the only entry we currently possibly might have is that USD CAD position. It's not the best position, but I'll come back to that later. All right, back to US30. There's nothing for us to take here. I mean, price is starting to look bullish, but we don't have that confirmation yet. So we're mainly looking for a buy signal here on the 5 minute to confirm momentum. But the 1 minute over here is not too bad. So the 1 minute over here is actually looking okay. The thing to keep an eye out for is going to be news at 7 o'clock, though. So we'll have to see if price continues to push up higher or if it drops right back down. So main thing I'm looking for is for this buy signal here to close. And then I'm also going to be looking for confirmation of direction here. So we currently have a bullish trend here on the 10-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute time frame. That's just for right now, guys. It doesn't mean this is going to stay here forever, but currently at the moment, we do have a bullish trend. Price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling up. Same with the 5-minute price over here is above the pivots. Pivots are angling up and the trend meter is green. Lastly, here on the 1-minute, same exact thing, right? Price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, and the pivots are angling up. As you guys can see on the 1-minute, I'll just focus on this for right now. As you guys can see, price is rejecting directly off this pink line, right? This is why this is one of the red flags. So if you guys always wondered, why we don't take trades when price reaches these areas, is because price typically becomes manipulated once it gets near them. So you can see whenever price gets near these horizontal lines, price starts to move kind of weird. It either fakes out or breaks through it, or it rejects directly off it. You can see right here that it rejected directly off it on these two candles, and then now it's pulling right back down the middle. So base point for US30 right now is going to be basically opening price, right? Price will push away from it, and then it'll pull right back to opening price right here, which is its blue line. So until price can successfully move away from it and stay away from it, then I don't think there's going to be any direction. It's just going to keep pulling right back to the same area right here. Also looking at volume is below average now. So we're probably not going to get any movement until news. So we'll probably have to sit tight for the next 7 minutes. 6:53 right now. News comes up right here at 7 o'clock. Once we have that, hopefully price will push, either one way or the other. Because you really just need to get away from this opening price. There we go with another pending sell signal. And back to the waiting game. Everything here is still bullish though. So the 5-minute still bullish, 10 minutes still bullish. Even if this closes with an invalid signal, it's still going to be valid. So if it's a red candle within a green buy signal, that's perfectly fine, because at that point we can still look for buys. We just need to confirm, the bullish momentum and bullish trend on the higher time frames. But then we can focus on the one after that. There's not really much going on here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I know we have some downtime right now, so if you want me to cover anything or explain anything, I can answer whatever questions you guys have. We have about 6 minutes till news, so it does not look like we'll have any entries from now until then. So over the next 6 minutes, if you guys have any specific questions, if you want me to review any strategies, just let me know and I'll show you some examples here, because we're not going to have any entries from now until 7 anyways. So we got about 5 minutes of downtime. Kind of tempted to take this right here, Maddie. What do you think for USD CAD for late entry? Everything's bearish on the 8-hour, 4-hour, and 1 hour. $32 pip move. See, the thing that I'm worried about is because the news from this morning was all negative. I don't know if this drop here is just based off the news. Right? So I don't know if this will continue dropping, or, depends on what the Fed says later. I think this will be good. You see, I'm going to log into my account here. This is my personal account, Forex.com, guys. This is my own account, not a funded account or anything. I just have about 10,000 in this account. I reset it for the new year. I think I started with 5,000 last year, and then I built it up to 12,000. I withdrew the extra, and then I'm back to 10,000. And this is just my personal account. For these Forex trades here, I usually take bigger risks, because it's just, you gotta risk something to make something. So for these Forex trades over here, I take about a 5% risk. This doesn't mean that you guys should take it though. The 3% risk is just as good. But for this account, you know, if I'm looking to exponentially grow it, I got to use a bigger risk because there's not so many Forex trades that come up. It's down profit, so I'm not going to enter it yet. I'm going to wait for, if I was going to enter it, I would have entered it above the entry point. But right now, just not a good time to enter. Laura's asking, we have a failure entry, right? I don't see any failure entry here right now, Laura. I mean, looking at this here, the overall trend is not really bullish, right? So if you're talking about this entry right here, this wouldn't be considered because if you go back to the entry candle, there's no overall trend here on the 1 minute, right? Because price is like right between the pivots. In order for it to be bullish, price needs to be above here, right? It needs to be above, like if you're looking at this from like this side over here, then okay, this would be bullish, right? Because price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling up. Same with the 5 minute and 10 minute. But the entry that you just saw right now, let me see if I go forward. Where was it? Yeah, this one right here, you can't really confirm that this here is bullish, right? Because it's like right in between the pivots, like there's no confirmation of it to continue to the upside. If price was up here and we had, you know, the retracement, then yeah, that'd be a momentum scalp failure, but there's no confirmation of overall trend. Yeah, trend is bullish on the 5 minute and 10 minute, but it's not very strong. It's just like slightly above. So I wouldn't consider this a momentum scalp failure. And I just mentioned before that we have news right here at 7 o'clock. So also another reason why we won't be taking any entries, because we don't take entries right about news right here. So for me personally, I wouldn't consider it an entry. I mean, you could have taken it if you wanted to, but I don't want to trade around news because when news happens right here at 7 o'clock, price can really spike, you know, one way or the other, depending on like how much it's impacted. Whether it's low impact or high impact, usually for US30, any type of US news will affect the market pretty heavily. So no momentum failure for me right now specifically. I'm gonna wait for the news to pass so that we can see where price pushes it away from, because we really need it to be away from where it's currently at. Also, another thing here too, Laura, that you probably missed is that it's an obvious red flag. So if you were to look this one right here, and there's just a lot of reasons, right? There's no right or wrong answer to like the analysis here. It just depends on like your risk parameters. But this one right here too, for this entry, it's right at this pink line. So red flags when to avoid trades when price is near news. Price is near news price, which should be this pink line right here. So it's just, you know, being conservative. I'm a conservative trader, so I wouldn't take the trade there. It's just a little too risky. Let's go back to USD CAD. Yeah, it looks like I missed my entry here. It's all good. All right, US30 pushed up right there. So yeah, Laura, if you were to take the buy there for the momentum scalp failure, it looks like it would have hit your TP already. Right there on that green candle. A little too risky though, I wouldn't have taken it, but if you guys took it, great. Let me mark up news price right here. I'm glad that news is around the same area so that we have all of our red flags within one spot. So as you guys can see, all of the red flags are right here. So this is perfect. I actually want it to be that way. Yeah, CT said not a failure, would need a time frame agreement. I agree. Yeah, Rashida said I would have been crying in that trade. Yeah, it's just too risky. If you're taking a trade like where news is at, and especially where all these red flags are, like you're kind of gambling at that point, right? Odds of it hitting your TP or your stop loss is like almost 50-50. And you can see right here, like if you took this trade here, it would have gone really close to your stop loss, but then it would have shifted right back up and straight to your TP. So it's all good. There's still no entries for us to take right now. We're basically looking for price to get away from this red flag area. Like all of these horizontal lines, we need price to either push above it so we can start looking for buys. and stay up here, or we need price to push below it and stay below here so that we can start looking for some sells. But right now, price is it's just going back and forth within this middle area, which is not, it's not the ideal place for price to be. So going over here, the 10-minute still bullish, or to some extent. It's not really like super bullish, but it is still bullish to some extent. Going over here to the 1-minute, price is starting to drop pretty heavily. If this is the case here, then we might have a shift in trend and shift in bias with regard to momentum. But I mean, who knows? I don't know if this will actually hold. It's been doing this pretty much all morning, back and forth spikes. But no real confirmation that it's going to stay in that area. All right, I'm still not in this position here for USD CAD. I'm probably going to hold off on this, guys. If I take it, I'll let you guys know, and I'll send a signal in the group. But it's just kind of risky because of all the news that's coming out. Let's see, we have, so this news is done, 7 o'clock. We have the Fed speaking at 11. So Fed member Harker is going to speak. I don't know what he's going to say. Obviously, he's going to say something that's good, or he's going to say something that's bad. All the news this morning is pretty much bad. So he might be confirming the bad news. And if that's the case, then that might push price, back below here. Because in order for the US dollar to be strong, price will go up. If the dollar is weak, price will go down. I think there's also Canadian news today as well. I mean, the Canadian news is negative too, so it's kind of hard to tell where price will likely go. Anyways, we'll come back to that later, but there's nothing here yet on the US30. Price is now dropping below. This is a good thing too. So it doesn't matter where price is going. We just need that confirmation. Once we have a confirmation for a sell or confirmation for a buy, we can start looking for entries here. We have a pending sell signal right here on the 10. This is good. If this is the case and this closes, then we'll have a confirmation of momentum here on the 5, confirmation of momentum here on the 10, and then we just need to confirm the trend. So yeah, I mean, still nothing here. If there's any questions, guys, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I'll go over whatever you guys need help with. Yeah, this USD CAD is kind of messy. I'm glad I didn't enter it. Thanks, Maddie, for keeping me from entering the trades, because there's a lot of news going on this morning. So like this news right here, retail sales was negative. This is kind of what pushed price to the upside. So I'm not sure if this will hold or if it's going to continue pushing up. So I'm not in this position here. I didn't take it. We were just analyzing to see if there's anything there that we could take, but I'm glad I didn't take it because it's kind of messy. It seems like the entire market here is kind of just going sideways. I'm not sure if you guys are looking at anything specific right now, but looking at US30, it's pretty much going back and forth. Looking at the NASDAQ over here, NASDAQ's actually a little more directional. So you guys can apply the same strategies here on NASDAQ. I mean, I personally don't trade NASDAQ, but if you did, you could be looking for a momentum scalp failure right here. So basically, if you get a sell signal here on NASDAQ, it's going to be an entry for a momentum scalp failure. That's too tight. I think this might be too tight too. Looking over here at S&P. S&P is actually moving a lot more smoother than US32, surprisingly. Yeah, S&P over here had a momentum scalp failure. So applying the same strategy that we're applying for US30, you guys can see here that there was a momentum scalp failure entry right here. So this is very similar to the entry that you were looking at, Laura. So basically the same entry here for US30, the one that was invalid. There was the same entry here for S&P, but this one I actually would have taken because this one is actually bullish. So looking back at the same requirements here, you can see prices above the pivots, trend meters green, pivots are angling up. Looking over here on the 5-minute trend, it's obviously bullish, right? 10-minute bullish. So right here on S&P, if I was trading this, which I don't trade S&P, that would have been the entry there. And then use a 1030 split, let the trade run, and full TP right there. So Same entries right here on different assets. I mean, it works the same way. All of my strategies are based off momentum. So as long as the asset moves, like it's a highly volatile asset, then you can apply it to pretty much whatever you want to trade, whether it be S&P, NASDAQ, US30. I mean, even gold. You can find the same thing on here too sometimes. But gold is a different beast. Like if you guys have traded gold, it doesn't really follow a lot of things. It moves kind of similar to US30, but I feel like it's a lot more erratic. So I for sure don't trade gold. If anything, if I was to trade another asset, it would be either S&P or NASDAQ. But yeah, gold is not something I like to play with. If you guys remember, I blew one of my accounts trading gold because I didn't realize that it copied over as a different lot size between FTMO and MFF. So I'm not going to risk it or even play around with it because the lot sizing is different per broker. All right, so back to US30, there's still nothing for us here to look at, guys. I mean, price is still going back and forth. There's no direction here. You can see back on the 1 minute. Let me go ahead and maximize this. Like I wouldn't be surprised if price gets pulled right back to the middle area right here, right? Price faked out below, shot right back up, and then here it is swinging back to the opening price. And today kind of sucks. I was hoping we'd have at least one trade today, but I mean, just looking at where price is currently going, it's not looking like we're going to have anything. It's 7:08 right now, so we still have a lot of time, but there just isn't any direction here. It's just in a huge range here on the 1 minute. Higher time frames here, it's still bullish. I mean, sorry, it's still bearish. 1 hour here is still below the pivots, but it is kind of, going sideways. All right. So still nothing here, guys. Here we go. Price is right back in the middle. So you guys can see if you just look up here, these are all fake outs, right? So price comes up right here. It'll come to this area, just fake out, and then come right back below. Comes below, comes down here, fakes out. And then it just keeps doing the same thing. So price pushes above, fakes out, comes back below, fakes out, but it always finds its way right back down to the middle right here. Right? So we want price to stay away from this middle area. I mean, I want it to stay below here or stay above. Either way, I want some sort of direction set before we can take any entries here. All right, so price is starting to drop a little heavier. Volume is starting to pick up again. You can see on this most recent candles right here, the volume's above average. Price is below the pivots. So we basically just want to wait for this to confirm, and we want a sell signal here to close on the 10 minute. So the trend here still isn't confirmed on the 10 minute. It's starting to look like it's starting to shift on the 5, but the 10 minute here still hasn't confirmed yet. We need price to stay below there. Will said, if anyone asks what the picture of US30 having no direction, I would show them the movement right now. Yeah, exactly right. Well, just remember today's date, January 18th. I think this is probably the clearest picture that you can see where there's no direction, because I know a lot of people like to argue that US30 is always moving directional. This is like for sure like a clear example of no direction, because it was moving directional here, and then when it got close to news price right here, it just started going back and forth over and over again. Price is starting to drop though, so this is a good thing. If price continues to drop, I'll be looking for that continuation, and then once we get that continuation, we can start looking for some possible sells here. So this 10-minute candle here still has a lot of time. It has about 8 minutes left on this candle, so we'll see if this actually closes below. If it continues to drop like this, it'll probably close with the sell signal, but if not, it'll probably disappear before the candle closes. Yeah, we are getting a drop now on the 1 minute. Same with the 5, same with the 10. We just need to wait to see if this confirms. If it confirms, then great. If not, then we just got to wait for it to do something. Yeah, we got saved on this one, Maddie. CUSD CAD. The Forex market is still not really moving like smoothly. You can see here from USD JPY, because there's a lot of news coming out this whole week. A lot of news coming out this week. We're coming back from basically a long weekend. And we have a lot of this inflation and recession news coming up in the near future. So it's got to sit tight. Some more profits right here. So let's see, Patricia over here took a couple of sells for US30, total profit of 1,535 for the day. Nice work, Patricia. Solid. Got Maddie over here, 307 for the day. Yeah, Maddie said if it gets pulled back into pivots, he's logging off. Yeah, so Maddie said if this pulls back to the pivots, he's going to log off. There's still no direction, guys. I mean, looking over here on the 10-minute, you can see that sell signal that we were waiting for. It disappeared just like we thought, right? Because price just ended up pulling right back up. So I need a confirmation here in order for me to have entry. So if I get a momentum failure here, I'm probably not going to take that momentum failure. But if I get a momentum scalp variation following it, then I will probably take that. However, in order for us to get a momentum scalp variation, we need to get a sell signal right here on the 10-minute, right? So we need momentum on both. We have trend already on here slightly. Trend is obviously bearish now on the 5. This is, it's not really super confirmed yet, but it is bearish because you can see prices below the pivots, trend meters red, and the pivots are starting to angle to the downside. Same with the 10-minute over here. You can see prices below the pivots. However, the trend meter below is just it's barely shifting to red, and the pivots are starting to angle down. So we are making our way towards a downwards trend, but we just don't have the full confirmation yet. So if I get a momentum scalp failure, I'm going to use that as a confluence, and I'm not going to take it, but I'm going to wait to see if it actually pushes. If it hits, then from there, I'll take the momentum scalp variation that follows it. But in order for us to get that, we need to get a sell signal here. This is going to be the main thing we're focusing on. Sell signal on the 10-minute. This candle still has 5 minutes left on it, so it's got a long time until it closes. But until then, we have to wait. Yeah, so no forced trades today, guys. However, everything is starting to look bearish. So you can see here on the 1 hour, it's been bearish since Tuesday, and it's still confirming. So I do think this is going to be bearish. 30-minute as well. It's been bearish since Tuesday, and the 10-minute here just needs to follow. So basically, the 1 hour here is leading. This is the leading time frame right now. It's going to confirm the bearish confirmation. The 10-minute over here is going to follow. So basically, higher time frames are leading right now. They're still bearish. Lower time frames right here are starting to follow. So we have a pending buy signal right here. If this here closes with a buy signal, this could technically be a momentum scalp failure entry. However, it's not one that I'm looking to take because the 10-minute here still hasn't confirmed. So even if this here closes, the 10-minute here still hasn't confirmed the bearish trend yet. So I'll mark it up for you guys if it closes, but I'm not going to take it. So just FYI, I consider this to be a very risky trade. Actually, never mind, no entry. So it's right at the red flag. So even if you get a buy signal here, you can see it's right at the red flags right here, right? So again, just a reminder, red flags when to avoid trades when price is in your sessions, when price is in your opening price, which is this blue line, and when price is in your news price, which is this pink line. So for sure, no entry here for any momentum scalp failure. Maddie said, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, no, it's not necessarily looking good at all. Let's see. Charles said possible entry on NASDAQ 1 minute for a variation. Yeah, possibly right here if it closes. I mean, not one I'd take. I don't trade NASDAQ, so it's not one that I personally look at. But yeah, if it does close above, then possible variation there. There's a buy signal, bullish trend, bullish trend. there's technically an entry here running for the momentum scalp failure. I don't trade US NASDAQ, so I don't know what the TP stop loss should be. It looks like 700 pips is just too tight. So, or I think you'd probably just skip this trade because this candle here is just too big. So I don't know what the range is going to be. It's not the same as US30, so we can't use the same TP stop loss for NASDAQ, but we do have a variation that's possibly, setting up there if it comes up, but not one that I would personally take. Oh, actually, so the volume was high for, which one are you talking about, Matt? Are you talking about NASDAQ? Let me put the volume indicator on here. All right. There we go. Actually, yeah. So there's no momentum scalp failure on this one because the volume was too high. Thanks, Maddie. So no momentum scalp failure on this one. Possible variation if it comes up, but I probably wouldn't take it because I'm looking at these in order, right? So I'm looking for these basically to line up in order. We still don't have a sell signal here on the 10. So it's still pending, but we can't take the entry here. So this would, if there was a sell signal here on the 10, this would technically be a momentum scalp failure, and this would have, or actually not a momentum scalp failure. This would be a momentum scalp variation that would have hit TP. Yeah, but there's no sell signal. We're waiting for the sell signal here to close. So this here, it would have been an entry if we had the sell signal on the 10, but we don't have that sell signal there. So there's no entry available. Same with this one right here. This would be another pivot momentum scalp, but we can't take this entry here because the sell signal on the 10 hasn't closed yet. So this right here is still pending, has about 50 seconds left on it. If this here closes with the sell signal, then we can possibly start looking for sells here. But you can see that price is starting to finally move directional, right? So there's two entries here that could have been taken if there was a criteria met, but the criteria wasn't met yet. So I'm basically just waiting for this here to close. Once it closes, I'll go back to the 1 minute here and I'll look for possible entries, but at the moment, no. Because this here can disappear in the last, couple seconds, especially if it doesn't hold for the duration of the candle. So we have about 10 seconds left on this candle here. And you can see that the sell signal disappeared, right? Man, that's frustrating. It's frustrating because we're waiting for this to like provide entry, but we don't have any entry yet. So there still is no entry for us right now, guys. Again, there's another pending sell signal on the 10. It's just frustrating when you're waiting for something to come up and you get really close to it and it doesn't actually provide, the requirements. But again, the requirements are there for a reason. So I don't create these requirements for like random reason. They're there for a reason, because for my testing, these are the requirements that are necessary to really have a quality entry. So yeah, I'm just sitting and waiting. Don't chase these moves here, guys, especially right now because it's right at the session. So like another red flag down here, don't enter trades when prices near sessions, and it's literally at the sessions right now. So yeah, don't get impatient. Just wait for the entry is going to come to you. You just got to wait for it. It's going to come eventually. It's kind of like how our trading was yesterday, right? We were waiting yesterday, and then towards the end of the session, the trades just started flowing in. Yeah, no, same here, Maddie. All right, so price is still bearish. I mean, we're probably still looking for sells here, but there's still no confirmation. So yeah, if there's any questions, guys, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, there just is nothing for us to take right now. The variation that you're looking at earlier, Charles, never came up. If price swings back above from here, then yeah, your variation might play out, but it never ended up closing above the pivots there. Let's see, S&P. No, there was a momentum scalp failure right here, but it was right at the session. So, I mean, not one that you would take for S&P. Anyways, back to US30. Price is still dropping lower, which is perfectly fine. The only thing that we have as an issue here is that price is now at these bottom red flags, right? So we had this area up here where we couldn't trade because we had all these horizontal lines. Now we're down here and we have the same thing, right? Again, same thing, price is right at these red flags. All right, so we're just waiting here. This is a possible momentum failure, but it's right at the sessions again. So like, for example, if you were to take a sell right here at any point, you'd have to get past the sessions, which obviously is a red flag. So no entry there. Still no sell signal here on the 10. So if we don't get a sell signal here on the 10, we still can't take any variations and we can't take any momentum scalps. The only entries we can technically look for here would be momentum scalp failures. But even if that's the case, I mean, we're still at the sessions right here. Sessions right there, and then another sessions down here. So not exactly where we want to be trading. And I'm still tempted to enter USD CAD here, but I think it's like it's way too messy of a move. It's going back and forth, kind of similar to like US30. There's no clear direction here. I don't want to stress over it, so I'm not going to take it. But yeah, we're still looking here for entry on US30. So the only thing that I can really look at right now for possible entry would be a momentum scalp failure. But even if at that case, like there isn't really much of a confirmation, because the thing is we still have these red flags here. So yeah, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. If there's any strategies that you guys are confused with, or you want some explanation or examples of, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I think this is the best time to answer any questions outside the mentoring sessions, because we typically don't have downtime like this. Possible momentum scalp failure pending right here, but again, it's right next to the session. So even if we were to get an entry there, we wouldn't be able to take it because it's so close to the sessions, right? Yeah, like price would need to be like way up here for us to take a momentum scalp failure, even for the smallest TP, because it's just too close to the sessions. You can see whenever price gets near the sessions right here, it typically gets manipulated, right? Price will come below, come up, retest, go sideways, fake out, and then now it's just going sideways again. So not an area that I'd like to trade in. So let's see. Let me check the news for this week. So tomorrow we have Philly Fed Manufacturing Index at 530, unemployment claims, building permits, housing starts. I'm expecting these to be negative because I don't think there's too many homes being built right now, or if they are being built, they're kind of being put on pause. As we go into this recession, they're not expecting a lot of people to buy homes, especially if the inflation rate's still up. Unemployment claims, I'm expecting this to be, negative as well. Philly Manufacturing Index, no say on that yet. CB Leading Index, natural gas storage. So we have a lot of news tomorrow from like 5:30 to 8. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Could be a good thing because it'll cause volatility in the market. Could be a bad thing because we might get a choppy market like we did today. And then on Friday, we have core retail sales. Actually, this is CAD news. We have Fed member Harker speaking at 6 o'clock, existing home sales at 7. I'm thinking this to be negative as well. And Fed member Waller speaking at 10. So we do have some news coming up tomorrow. Hopefully it'll push price, but I think right now there's just nothing for us to take or to even look at. Yeah, that NASDAQ entry never came up, Charles. So never closed above the pivots for the variation. Also, there's a sell signal here on the 5-minute now, so there's no more variations that are available. You need to have a buy signal to take the variation. So no longer any variations available on NASDAQ until you get a buy signal here on the 5. All right, so we still have this pending sell signal right here on the 10-minute. So if this here closes, we can start looking for some variations and momentum scalps. I think the first entry will start off at the momentum scalp failure, but we probably won't have that anytime soon because it's right in between the sessions right here. So we actually need price to push very low. So in order, and we have another sessions below here. So it's not really looking like we're going to have any room for entry. But so anyways, if price drops below, look for that retracement and continuation. So this is basically what we're looking for. If price drops below here, we get a retracement. It'll provide a momentum scalp failure. And hopefully we can maybe catch at least one move down here. But looking at the parameters, it's just really close, right? So like in order for us to take entry, the momentum scalp failure can't come anywhere below this point. Same with this here. If we were to get a momentum scalp failure, this already is invalidated. You can see because it touched the sessions. So we had that buy signal there. It was setting up for a momentum scalp failure, but then it touched the sessions right here. And that invalidates the move. Red flags went to avoid trades when price is near sessions. And this is just from experience. I mean, you guys can still take trades if you like, but from my experience, whenever price is near these points, it just becomes a very high manipulated area. So not necessarily the best area to be trading in. Some more profits right here from Jay. So Jay over here just been listening to my analysis, taking his trades as he sees entries. Total profit on Jay's account of 1,807 for the day. Nice work, Jay. Solid. So he's done for the day. Here's Maddie. So here's Maddie's consistency. Just want to show you guys how consistent he's been. He said 1 or 2 trades a day so far this week. Listen and execute. Locked in basically. Yeah, you're pretty solid, Maddie. So you're basically locking in just the same amount, if not more profit compared to your days when you were over trading. Last week, you took 1 trade, you made 52. 4 trades on the 11th, made 307. 20 trades on the 12th, 900. 8 trades on the 13th, 600. And then yesterday you took 2 trades, made 477, and then 1 trade today, 307. So this is the consistency that you guys should strive for, right? You don't need to have like 100 trades. You can have maybe 1 or 2 trades, proper lot size, proper execution, and then just lock in profits each day. So if you guys can find this consistency, you can just rinse and repeat it every single day. That's what I'm looking for, right? Whenever I trade, that's why I have such a long reigning consistency per trade or per month, because I'm only looking for the high quality trades. So like, for example, here, there was a couple entries that came up throughout the day, but I didn't take any of them because none of them were quality in my perspective. So just looking for quality entries here and finding that consistency. Because realistically, if you guys can find consistency, it's just rinse and repeating the process every single day. You're doing the same thing, looking for these 3 strategies, looking for maybe 1 or 2 entries, and then calling it a day, and then doing that daily. So like, say, for example, I mean, you guys have seen my my profits pretty much every day, right? So you see my profits from the 17th, all wins, right? profits from the 16th. Actually, I didn't take any trades the day before that, but profits on Friday, all wins. Like if you can find this consistency, guys, where you guys just have, straight wins every single day, your accounts are going to build up, right? The day before, all wins. Day before that, they were all wins aside from my TFF. So if you guys can find the consistency, your account will grow exponentially over time. Profits over here from Patrick. See, this is Patrick's consistency as well. He said, not going to risk any more today. We'll get it tomorrow. So he locked in 2,861 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. And if you look at my messages with Patrick, he sends me his profits every single day. Consistency, all wins. Consistency the day before, all wins. Day before that, all wins. Day before that, all wins. If you guys can find this consistency, your account is like inevitable to grow, right? If you're doing a challenge, it's inevitable that you'll pass. Like, see, Patrick's been on a winning streak since January 3rd, December 30th, December 28th, December 29th. So he had one loss here. So he hasn't had a loss since December 28th. Just one loss. Was probably an accident. Yeah, he said he was, he took an accidental loss there, but basically no losses from December 28th up until today. So that's what you guys should strive for. If you guys can do that and have the consistency, I mean, you guys, it's just inevitable for you guys to be successful at trading, right? All right, I'm looking for a possible buy signal here for a momentum scalp failure. I don't know if we'll get it, but we'll see. Debating if 100, 300 would be good or 25, 50. I think 100, 300 would be good. We get that buy signal, though. That's the main thing we're looking for here. Christian said 10-minute doesn't have a sell. We don't need a sell for that, Christian. You need a sell for the momentum scalp variation, momentum scalp, but not the momentum scalp failure. So this is the only one that we don't need we don't need the momentum on. That's why we've been looking for this specific entry pretty much all morning, because this is the only one that aligns. So if we get a momentum scalp failure here, this would be the entry, and then it'd probably be followed by a momentum scalp variation if we do get a sell signal here on the 10. So that's pretty much the process there. It's touching the sessions though, so there's not going to be any entry here, even if we get a buy signal. Yeah, Patrick said one thing I learned since joined K2 is less trades plus better entries equals consistency and profit. Yeah, that's the key thing, Patrick. I mean, that's what I've been trying to explain to everybody from like day one, right? Only a few people have really caught on to it and have actually started executing that way. But, I'm glad you've been doing it, because it shows like, it's proof of concept, because we've been trading live every day. So I don't know, some people just have to eat as many, a certain amount of losses before they start to listen to the advice. And eventually, you guys will find that consistency. Let's see, Peter said, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell tests positive for COVID. Yeah, that's probably why he hasn't been speaking this week. Yeah. Because he's typically the one that speaks during Fed week, but he hasn't spoke at all this week. So that explains. Yeah, Peter said, yeah, quality over quantity. I agree. 100%. So it's 7:35. We still have some time for entry here, guys, but I don't know if we'll have anything because we're getting close to 8 o'clock, and price is still dropping, but we don't have any confirmations here yet. Like, for example, the 10-minute here still hasn't provided a sell signal, which I'm surprised it hasn't. It should have provided one by now. Let's see, Dejan said, only if applied, follow quality over quantity. Yeah, exactly. Alex said, I ate up too many losses before I decided to listen to Sean. Yeah, no, definitely, Alex. No, it's good that you're here now, though, because I know you've been kind of bouncing around with different programs, but if you just find the consistency, I think it should be good. Only Apple followed quality over quantity. Yeah, did you look at the new Apple Mini? John, I was thinking about getting that, but I spent so much on this like iMac Pro that there's like no need for me to get anything new yet because the technology on this is like so ahead of its time. So I'm still going to use this until I need to get a new computer. Eventually I will though. Yeah, Dejan said, I know Steve Jobs would fire everyone if he's seen how they were running it. I know it's different now. It's way different. Yeah, Dejan said I might get the MacBook Pro with the M1 chip. Yeah, no, I got that one too. That's one that I use for traveling. I don't know if I have the M1 or M2 chip, but whatever the newest one is. Super fast though. You know, the weird thing with the new iMacs is like, I know Maddie had the issue. Like they only allow you to connect one screen to it, which is weird. So that's why I'm kind of holding off on yeah, Maddie said he might get the new MacBook. It's weird because the new MacBook you can connect multiple screens, but for Maddie's like iMac, you can only connect one screen, which is I've never heard of that before in a computer where they limit it to only one screen. Yeah, Patrick said, not gonna lie, when I first joined, I was like a kid in a candy store, especially the Trump days. I'd take 20 trades a day. Yeah, no, during Trump's like presidency, it was easy. If you guys have been part of the group since Trump, like during COVID, it was really easy because we could take any momentum signal in whatever direction and your trade would almost for sure hit. Like it was super easy because the thing with Trump, like the difference between Trump and Biden as presidents is that Trump was like always, he was pro-America, like no matter what. Doesn't matter what was going on in the world, he was always pro-America. So whenever he announced anything, it would be good for the economy. Like even if he was lying, it'd be good for the economy. But for Biden, he's so like wishy-washy. He doesn't have any sides. He'll tell you something and then he'll say, okay, but maybe this or that. And then nobody knows where price is going because he just throws the market off. So Christian said Biden is always sleeping. Yeah, no, he's just I don't know. I don't know what to say about Biden, honestly. He's too old to be president. And he's not necessarily like, I feel like he's not like 100% for America with his policies and stuff compared to Trump. Like, I don't like Trump as a person. Of course, his personality is kind of out there, but him as a president was making a lot better decisions for the country. Yeah, Keonia said facts, Sean. Biden fooled me. Yeah, you know, I think Biden fooled everybody. He made it seem like he was going to be a good president, but he's not really doing anything good for the economy or for the country in general. Yeah, C6 said Brexit was amazing. Yeah, if you guys were trading with me back then, it was just a fun time to trade back when Trump was president because we had Brexit, we had COVID, which I mean, COVID wasn't a fun thing, but a lot of people were working from home. So we were kind of just hanging out every day and trading and making a ton of money. I think that year I made probably the most profit from just trading. Actually, last year was one of my more profitable years too, but the year before that was like super profitable. That was when I started buying a bunch of cars. Like every year I was getting like a new car because it was just easy to trade. Yeah, Peter said like when Biden said he would cure cancer if he became president. Yeah, like that'll ever happen. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. So like this year, I think a lot of the presidential candidates are going to be doing their campaigning. So if Trump does decide to run for president again or try to make an attempt, I think it'll be pretty interesting because they'll be having the press conferences and it's going to push price, you know, it's going to just push price around a lot. So I think this year will be fun. Even though we're going to depression, I think it'll be fun for the markets because the markets will be super volatile. Since we're scalping, it's going to be easy for us to take trades. Like we can literally take trades with our small TPs and just hit our TPs right away, get in and out super quickly. So guys, looking back over here at US30, so we do have the sell signal here for the 10 minute. So we can now look for sell entries. So we have sell momentum and sell trend for the 5 minute and 10 minute. We're definitely looking for sells here now in the 1 minute. So I'm going to go ahead and just maximize this. The only problem is the sessions right here. So basically all these strategies here are a go if we have an entry for them. Yeah, CT said 10 minute finally closed. Now we can get a move up for failure. Yeah, I agree, CT. So we're obviously looking for sells here. Everything is lined up. The only downside here is that it's 7:42 right now, guys. So we're getting really close to 8 o'clock. So I don't know if we'll have any entries here. I mean, I'll try to stay on for a while and we'll see if we can at least catch maybe one entry, but we are getting close to 8 o'clock. So we're just going to have to be really focused here. If price starts to move, it's not moving right now, so price isn't really doing too much. Let's see. Yeah, the volatility here is like completely dead. If you guys can see the range right now, price is just going back and forth, measuring the bodies. It's moving less than 200 pips. So the volatility right here is non-existent. It's very slow. I don't know if there's any other news coming up. Okay, volatility is starting to pick up a little bit. Let me check the news real quick. So the next news coming up is going to be at 11 o'clock. It's Beige Book and Fed member Harker speaking. Let me check my FX book real quick. Just want to make sure we're not going to get screwed here in trading during news. We have news coming up at 8:30. So we got news at 8:30, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11. Hey, Brock, how's it going? Looks like you finally made it. It's all good. You didn't miss anything, Brock. Market's been kind of sideways pretty much all day today. It started dropping right now, but volatility's, I don't know. The volatility here is kind of hit or miss. It picks up a little bit, dies down, then picks right back up. Here are Brock's profits for the day. Brock is currently up 1,040 for the day, just one trade. Nice work, Brock. We got Maria over here. Maria said she's been practicing her consistency too. Yeah, no, you've been good, Maria. Looking at your trades here, you're not taking a lot of trades anymore. So you're definitely pulling it back a little bit. So your consistency is definitely added up over time. Yeah, just looking at your trades here, you're taking like about 1 to 3 trades a day on average. One day you took 5, it's okay. You know, sometimes it happens, you take more than you want to. But for the most part, you've been taking 1 to 3 trades a day, and then you've been pretty much profitable almost every day, aside from this day right here. Looks like you took 3 trades, but it looks like you might have held on to this trade a little too long because your loss here is a lot bigger compared to like this day over here. You lost 600 on this day, but you lost 200 on this day. Same amount of trades, but it's all good. No, your consistency is getting a lot better, Maria. So that's good to see here. And your profit from yesterday locked in 108. It's good. Some more profits here from Barack. Here is his second account. He said headed for phase 2, phase 1 successful. So he passed his challenge here. He's on his verification now. Total profit of 5,925 on this account. Nice. Yeah, on a 100K account, locked in 10%. Pass your challenge onto the next phase. Congrats, Barack. Let me scroll down a little bit. Here's Kip. Kip's currently up 867 for the day, 1,609 on his other account. Yeah, Kip said only copying 2 today, but pretty happy considering the shitty movement, kind of shit movement. Yeah, now the movement today is really slow. It's not really good at all. Kip again right here, he's currently up 1,892 on his first account, 2,543 on his second account. Nice work, Kip. Here's Sisuk. Sisuk's currently up 2,050 for the day. Took 3 trades today, all wins. Nice work, Sisuk. So we don't have any official trades yet, guys. We have, I mean, people are still trading, but they're just trading off my analysis, not necessarily through my through any official trades here. Here's Kip. Kip's now up 1,892 on this account. Nice work, Kip. Barack over here. There he goes. Awesome. Yeah, so past challenge right here from Brock. Great work, Brock. And it's on FTMO, which is also a bigger plus. Let's see Vincent over here. Nice work, Vincent. Vincent over here locked in a total profit of 774.45 for the day. Not bad. Took some buys right there. Yeah, I took that little entry right there. Pretty clean. And then Justin over here, he said, forgot to check news earlier, still done with some profit for the day. So he locked in 375 on his first account. Nice work right there, Justin. And then he locked in 260 off his second account. So solid work right there. Will over here, he said, so he took one trade today. Will took one trade, total profit of 121 for the day. Nice work, Will. He said one trade away to pass. Nice. Yeah, so Will needs one more trade, and then he's going to pass his challenge as well. Solid work, Will. Yeah, just keep up the consistency. Don't like try to overdo it, right? Just try to get that one trade in. Once you get that one trade, you'll pass your challenge, and then on to the verification. All right, solid, guys. So it's getting close to 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, still no entries for us. Let me go back to the 5 and 10. We still have a bearish bias here, so we're still good to go for a sell. We just need to have, some sort of confirmation here for us to make an entry. All right, so we're basically looking for a retracement here. Looking for a retracement for a momentum scalp failure. Once we get that, we can possibly take a momentum scalp variation right after. And then a momentum scalp on top of that. But right now, there just isn't anything for us to take. I mean, looking over here at futures, the Dow is now down 120 points. It dropped down a lot in the last couple of minutes. S&P is down 1 point. NASDAQ still up 16 points. Russell 2K is up 17 points. VIX is down 1%. So still looking for entries here, but there's nothing for us to take at the moment, guys. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to keep looking for possible entry here, but the volatility is extremely low. As you guys can see, these most recent candles, they're moving less than 100 pips now at this point. So it's moving super slow compared to how it was moving earlier. Here goes Nelly's profit. So Nelly he open closed the trade for the day just so that he could, count his trading days. So that's solid right there, Nelly. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys are already done with your challenge. You're just waiting for the minimum trading days to pass. So it should be fine. Yeah, if you guys just need to get your trading days in, just open and close, a small lot size, and then just count that day and move on to the next one. But right now, there's just nothing for us to take. I mean, fortunately, I was hoping we get something towards the end. Price did drop here. So price was moving directional, but we didn't have that confirmation until down here. Price is still starting to drop further, but there's just nothing for us to take at the moment. All right, so let's see. It's 10 minutes late. Yeah, still got a lot of movement here until it reaches where we need it to, but it's getting close to 8 o'clock. Price is still dropping right here. Going back to the higher time frames, bearish, super bearish on the 10, super bearish on the 30. So the problem with this right here, guys, if you guys are looking for entry, is that price is very overextended. So it's due for retracement, right? If you look here on the 10-minute, it's dropped down super heavily without any retracement. So if we were to maximize this right here, you guys can see that price drop from this high down to this point right here with no retracement. about 2,590 pips. So I'd be careful taking sells right here because whenever it drops like that, it has to retrace at some point, right? It can't just keep dropping forever. It looks like the retracement is actually happening right now in the 1 minute. Not a super strong retracement, but it is retracing up slightly. So if I get a momentum scalp failure here, I probably won't take it. Or if I do take it, I probably won't take it for the full move. I'll probably look for the momentum scalp variation to follow it after. So just a heads up, guys, because I don't want you guys to think that I'm going to hop into this trade right away. Due to the retracement that I'm waiting for, I would probably wait for it to actually retrace up before I look for entry. So, or I'll probably hop into the momentum scalp failure for like late entry or something like that. But at the moment, there's no entry for us. We need a buy signal. So I need that retracement to be hard enough to get a buy signal so that we can close maybe somewhere up here. And then when price comes back below, that's where we will be making our entry. And I'll probably use a 1030 split because the 2550 is just a little too wide. So I'll probably be going for a smaller TP stop loss just for this specific one here. Yeah, Maddie said the 1 hour is taking out lows. Yeah, I can see it right here, Maddie. Yeah, so it's hitting liquidity right here on the 1 hour. Yeah, I'm tempted to take a speculative move, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to let it be. It's just too risky. Just taking out the lows right there, though. Yeah, price came down, touched that area. Still dropping. Don't have the retracement yet. Yeah, it's hitting that liquidity right there. I'm not going to gamble, though. Dijon said this guy's walking to class drinking a Modelo. Yeah, of course, Dijon. It's Modelo time. He's had a hard trading day today. Man, this market sucks. I was hoping to get at least one entry today, but there's nothing for us to take. I mean, pretty much all day. We've been waiting for these entries here, but there's nothing. We finally got the confirmation here around like 740, but there's just nothing for us to take there. This thing is dropping like what Maddie mentioned over here. Was breaking through, is pretty much knocking out the lows here on the 1 hour. I was tempted to take a quick move there for like 100 pips, but no, it's just too much of a risk for a quick little push like that, especially if it needs to retrace up at some point. Let's see. Will said, I think we're going to get it in the next 10 minutes. Sisuk said, this is plenty for me for a day like today. I'm shutting down. Have a great day. Awesome job. Keep people's capitals today. Going to do analysis for tomorrow's trades. Yeah, no, I agree, Sisuk. I mean, price is still dropping right here, but I don't think we're going to get that retracement anytime soon. I guess I could hang out with you guys for a little bit longer just to see if anything comes up because there is actually no official entries that came up today. So I guess I could hang out with you guys for a little bit more if there's any other questions that you guys want me to cover. But as it reaches 8, it's usually my cutoff for trade, so I don't think I'll be taking anything. If I see something really good, though, I'll take it. But if not, then I'm just not going to force anything. Let's see. Barack said 1030 split. has been a sweet spot since we used on all KC strategies, maybe because of the news from earlier this morning. There's too much for one day, all critical news. Yeah, there was a lot of news this morning, Brock. I mean, the drop here that happened started from news, and then it just was sideways for like the whole first hour of the session. And then right here at 7:30, price started to drop in the direction that we were looking for. But at that point, there was no retracement. You can see the sell signal right here drop pretty heavily, but there was no retracement, and then it just kept, going and going and going. So yeah, unfortunately, there's no entries for us to take here. We're starting to get some volume here for a buy, so we might get that retracement that we were looking for finally. But yeah, there's just nothing for us to take right now specifically. Dejan said, got to have the slow days this week. So next week, when I start my challenge, the market will be good. Yeah, no, and I agree with you too, Dejan. Market has been kind of crazy for the past couple of days. So, it was about time that we started to have these slower days where there's no entries for us to take. Some more profits here from Sisu, currently at 4,905 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Sisu. Yeah, CT said this looks just like yesterday, huge move down, little to confirm entry. Yeah, I agree with you too, CT. And then some more profits here from CT for the day. So CT's first account, he's up 260, second account down 1,000, third account up 300, fourth account up 3,950, fourth account up 200, and fifth account up 200 as well. Nice work, CT. So there's a possible entry here for momentum scalp, or sorry, a momentum scalp failure. Again, I'm probably not going to take the first one, guys, but I'll be looking for the second one, like the next entry to come up. The volatility here is kind of picking up a bit, so I'm kind of tempted whether I want to take a 525 split or 100. Yeah, I think the range here is kind of wide, so probably have to go with the 2550. So I'm probably not going to take the momentum scalp failure first, guys. I'll probably look for the momentum scalp variation following it. So I'll mark this up for you guys as a momentum scalp failure, but I don't think I'm going to take the first one because, price is due for retracement. So this right here would be the momentum scalp failure. I'm not in this position. I'm looking for price to come back down for a momentum scalp variation. Let me check the higher time frames. We still have a sell signal, downwards trend on both time frames. So it looks good. This right here might be the momentum scalp variation if price ends up closing below. So it's got to see where it closes. It's a little iffy, so I'm trying to hold off on it for now. And if I miss the momentum scalp variation, I'll take the momentum scalp right after, because there's a third entry that should happen right after it. So this one right here does not look like it's going to close below the pivots. Yeah, so that's not it yet. Basically just need it to close below. If we get a sell signal, even better. It's going to line up with a momentum scalp. So let's see where it's at. All right, I might just take, if I take this entry here, I might take it for a partial, might go for just 100. I'll keep it at 250, but I'm going to see where it goes because you need to confirm. I don't want to be holding on to it for too long. Yeah. So we need it to actually close, guys. As you guys can see, price keeps going back and forth. We need to actually close below for us to have this entry here. You can see how price is moving right now. It's moving super choppy. So it's not necessary. This is why I didn't want to enter the first one here. I was waiting for the momentum scalp variation to come up after because I knew this one's going to be a little bit iffy because it's due for retracement. And I'm just waiting for it to confirm. So this one's typically going to be the riskier trade out of the three. Usually if it's followed by the second one, it's probably going to hit. But again, it's after 8 o'clock, so it's past our trading time right now. Let me check the higher time frames. Everything here is still bearish. All right, so it could still be good as long as this here closes below the pivot. So we need this red candle to close below here. If it closes below there, it'll be an entry for momentum scalp variation. And then that one will probably be one that I would maybe take. It's after 8 o'clock, so it's past my trading time. So this is considered it'll be considered a risky trade on my end specifically. See if this here closes. No, it didn't close. So again, right there, this red candle did not close below the pivots. It was above the green one. So it still does not meet criteria. 40 seconds left on this one here. I was thinking about getting into this one, but it's too late. Got 30 seconds left on this candle here. Maddie said there's a V1 right there. Yeah, if you guys know the variation V1 strategy, there was one that was right there. All right, so let's see where this is at. Okay, this might be an entry for both a momentum scalp variation and a momentum scalp. If it closes. 10 seconds left. Volume's a little below average. There goes the momentum scalp variation. No momentum scalp, but the variation was there. Here, let me just put alerts here for these trades so that we know when these close out. Seem to be aware because it's past 8 o'clock already. So it's not really a good time. It's not a time that I personally like to trade. I look for the sell signal. Yeah, if the momentum scalp happens after it, then these are probably going to follow through. Possibly one more if we get a sell signal. All right, so I'm in profit. I think it got me a little early because I'm in profit 1,000 right now. So I don't know if there's slippage on my entry or what, but I'm already in profit, like well over 1,000 right now. Profit 1,300. So there's about 20 seconds left on it. So I might exit early, guys. If the momentum scalp failure hits first, then I probably might exit early. I'll let you guys know. I'll probably move my stop loss and profit soon because I'm already in profit, like well over 1,000. So I'm gonna be watching for this here. I just want to see if this momentum scalp closes. If it closes, then it'll probably drop further, but if not, it'll probably continue bouncing around. See where it's at. All right, I'm moving my stop loss in profit. Almost at my TP, almost, yes. Okay, I locked in 2,500 off that trade. There we go. Failure, full TP. Momentum scalp variation about to hit full TP as well. I'm already out of the position, guys. So if you guys want to pull out, feel free. This one's about to hit too. I'm not going to take the momentum scalp, but the variation hit as well. So full TP on both of them. Solid. So as you guys can see, if you guys are patient, this shit works. So, all right, guys, I'm glad we waited till the end because I knew the trade was going to come. Like if you guys are patient enough and you don't have any entry between 6:30 and 8, it's going to happen like eventually, at least one entry. I'm not taking this last one here. I'm done for the day. There's 2 back-to-backs right there. I pretty much use a confluence as entry and it was perfect. So I locked in, let's see. Look at that. That would have been another one right there. 3 back-to-back wins. So this strategy is really strong, guys. If you guys can find this confluence, like typically you'll have a momentum scalp variation. momentum scalp, and then they all hit, like literally all of them hit. So nice work, guys. All right, so let me just post up these trades real quick. Hopefully you guys got into at least one of these, because I mean, that was some torture waiting for this to play out. It finally played out, and thankfully it hit our TPs in a smooth fashion, not too much drawdown at all. All right, so let me just give a little update here for all the entries that came up. So we got one right here. So let's see. Will said, first time in my life, I passed the challenge. Nice. So you made the right decision joining us, Will, because I know when you first met me, you're like so frustrated. But now you finally passed. So congrats to Will over here. Passed his first FTMO challenge. Congrats. 318 for the day. Completed. All right, man. On to the next one, Will. Don't celebrate too much, bro. Just keep humble and keep doing what you're doing, right? Don't overtrade. Don't over leverage. Just, stick with us on the live, and I think you should be perfectly fine. So should be good, man. All right, so we had a momentum scalp failure right here. Yeah, we had all three line up. So momentum scalp failure, momentum scalp variation. So, this is just proof of concept, guys. That's why I do this live every day, because this proves to me that this works as well, which is the goal, right? The goal is really finding stuff that really works and then just dialing in on stuff that works. I feel like with trading, a lot of people want to overcomplicate it, give you some retarded strategies that don't make sense. And realistically, all you need to do is just find stuff that works and continue executing. I trade completely different from anyone else that you see online. If you see anybody else trade online, they trade way different, and they're not as consistent, right? But for me, I find that consistency because I do the same thing, literally every single day. Yeah, no, it's good. This was worth the patience, because I was getting kind of annoyed throughout the whole session because there was no entries that were coming up. And I was like, man, I can't believe we waited on here for an hour for no entries. But yeah, everything here lined up. Let me show you guys my profits for the week. Counts are looking real nice for the week so far. Okay. So I will post this up right here. So here are my accounts. I locked in 2,500 on my main account, 2,550 off my FTMO number 2, 2,450 off my MFF number 1, 2,450 MFF number 2, 2,450 off my MFF number 3, and then 1,666 on my TFF. Of course, they undercut me, but it is what it is. I'm used to getting undercut from TFF. So Christian over here posted his profits. He's currently up 753 for the day. Nice work, Christian. Consistency. Yeah, great work right there, Christian. Christian called it, right? Nice work on that one, Christian. CT over here, he's up 260 on this account. It's 300, 395, or 350. I'll just copy this over. Take the variation, hit his TP. Maddie over here as well, currently at 422 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. Nelly over here, locked in 1,570 on his other phase. Total profit of 4,290 for the day. Great work, Nelly. Vincent over here, he said 2023 is going to be a hell of a year. Yeah, definitely. So Vincent over here took the trade as well. Locked that in. Total profit of 167 for the day. So if you guys remember, you guys were wondering who Vincent was. Vincent is this guy. So this is Vincent. He's the one that made the top 10 leaderboard on FTMO for last month. Pretty solid. So now that you have the indicators again, Vincent, you're gonna be able to kill it, I think, consistently throughout the year. Cameron over here started with a loss, reached the goal for the day, locked in a total profit of 1,087. Nice work making your way back, Cameron. Good consistency on the way back up. Robin over here as well. Robin just posted his profits. He's currently 31.98. Nice work, Robin. So yeah, Robin over here locked in 31.98 for the day. Solid work. We got Dejan over here, currently up 330 for the day. Nice work, Dejan. And then Maddie over here, 422 for the day. Barack over here, currently up 1,615 for the day. Yeah, definitely. Barack said, took a great call, Sean, definitely. And let's see. Jonathan over here, currently up 262 for the day. Man, you got to charge your phone, bro. 17%. Jonathan logged in pretty good for the day, 267 or 262. So solid work right there, Jonathan. All right, I'm just going to wrap up with my profits. I'll screenshot my individual accounts. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we will be wrapping this up for the day. So I'll just give it some time for you guys to ask questions if there's any questions. If not, then perfectly fine. We'll wrap this up in some good profits for the day. All right, FTO number 1, FTMO number 2. Man, and this is what I was mentioning, guys. Like, you guys don't need like a lot of strategies. Like, literally, I'm applying these 3 strategies here, and they work perfectly fine, right? And they come up right after each other. So, like, if you can just focus on these 3 strategies right here, I think you'll be pretty solid. So all year, this is all I'm going to be applying, just these 3 strategies. So if you guys want to stay, active with us here, you can go on the website. So if you guys are new here, just go on the website. If you want access to these indicators and strategies, go to our website, kodikaitrades.com, click on this, unlock your free access. You'll get access to the course and stuff like that. If you guys just want access to the YouTube, click on this right here, get access to the live sessions. And this will take you to the YouTube channel. If you guys don't want to pay for anything, you guys don't have to. It's completely free. Just go over here, subscribe, turn on notifications. And I go live about like 1 to 3 times a day. So if you guys are subscribed and have your notifications on YouTube, what happens is when I go live, YouTube will send you an email like, hey, Sean's going live. And then you can watch pretty much all my live sessions. All my live sessions are posted here. I've been trading live for about 3 to 5 years now. With you guys every day, our trading results each day, mentoring sessions, etc., strategies, everything's down here. So yeah, if you guys want to stay in the loop with us, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't, right? If you guys just sit in on the live sessions every day, you guys could lock in some pretty good profits, and you don't have to pay for anything. The only time you have to pay for anything is if like you want access to the actual strategies, which, I mean, it's like an investment, right? If you guys want my strategies and my indicators, you guys can literally trade this all day if you wanted to. For me personally, I just trade till 8, but I mean, the opportunities are endless. So, all right, guys, let me post up my profits real quick, and then we'll wrap this up for the day. So let me see. All right, posted up my profits. A question from Barack. Barack's asking, Sean, is volume indicator you have on your chart the stock one? What's the setting for the average, please? It's all set to default, Barack, so it's set to 20, I believe. Yeah, it's set to 20. So yeah, it's the default built-in volume indicator that's a part of TradingView. Default settings 20. All right, so here are my profits across all my accounts. So my first account right here, I locked in my full TP on my FTMO, 2,500 profit on this account. Here's my FTMO number 2, locked in 2,550 on this one. My MFF number 1, 2,450. MFF number 2, 2,450. And then MFF number 3, same thing, 2,450. My TFF over here, of course, undercut me a little bit. Only gave me 1,700. I should have had 2,500 on this account, but they're known to do that. So it is what it is. I deal with it. And there's nothing I can really do to change it because that's just their broker. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me. You guys can email me, Sean@kodikaitrades.com. Otherwise, you guys can email me or message me on Telegram at kodikaitrades. I trade live every day, Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 8. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. As you guys can see, at the end of every day, I post up everyone's profit. So you'll be in the video here showcase. So if you guys want to be in the video, just send in your profits, either send them to me, post them in any group, and then I'll go over them later in the day once the session is over. So, all right, guys, other than that, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys here tomorrow. Same place, same time as we